Happy New Year! How funny, here I am talking in my newsletter this time about change and the power of change and what can we do and so on and so forth. And ironically, I'm in a different room that's given me an amazing change in my whole house. Now, last year we decided to decorate the whole of the downstairs, so my lovely PA and I decided we would come into a new place and define what change is all about. So normally at this time of the year, people start to focus on a new year, new beginning, what's coming for them, what it was like last year, what they want to do different. So what I want to talk about, which hopefully you'll find in the newsletter, is there's tips and things on how to change and what that's all about for people. But what I have noticed is a lot of people, particularly people that have got addiction, do things when change is going on to the nth degree, drinking, smoking, drugs and so on. But actually all of us have a habit of doing things when things aren't going so well for us or we're uncomfortable to distract ourselves. And that might be working too many hours in the office, trying to get away from home a little bit more, or being at home more. Some people want to sleep a little bit more or distract themselves in some way. My husband likes to play golf a lot more. So I think all of us are inclined to distract ourselves to a degree. So how can we, with all the things that have been going on, help ourselves with this transformational period where we want to make changes? Well, one thing I think is really important to remember, I know it's a bit of a buzzword, is this first world problem. I think of something that's going on and I think, oh my goodness, well actually, or even a high class problem. I use that expression myself. It's a bit of a high class problem, isn't it? I've got a roof over my head, I've got water to drink. So that sort of brings me back to gratitude. And I think that's a real key factor. It's a bit of a top tip, I think, for this new year, is to be focusing on what we can be grateful for, because there's so much more that we've got that we haven't often. And positivity, half glass full. Now, it doesn't mean that we don't focus on what isn't going okay so much, because we need to identify it, but actually we don't pay too much attention to it and maybe look at it from a slightly different perspective. So be careful what you focus on. If you focus on a problem enough, it just seems to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So I find just going even for a walk and doing some gratitudes of nature or my health, or that I've got sight, that I can walk and I can listen and things like that are really helpful. So first of all, maybe my suggestion would be to identify what you do need to change. What's not been working for you, rather than beat yourself up about it. What do you want to change? What have you got in the future that you'd really like to do different? So those are a few things that I think are helpful. Maybe the top tip of gratitude, looking at things from a different perspective. Half glass full, my husband's definitely one of those. I do struggle a bit with that. So challenge, I don't know if you know anything about this particular fact that I've heard, which I thought was really interesting, is you need to be challenged often 3 times to change your point of view. Someone has to sort of come at you maybe from 3 different directions or new information and think, well, actually, maybe that doesn't serve me anymore. So I wish you a beautiful, happy new year. I hope you enjoy my newsletter and that you find it of value, and there's some top tips to help you with change, because that's exactly what I've got here today.